Hello, this is Ultimate K and Experiment in Art. In this video, I explore Paint 3D and unveil its potential. I will only be focusing on the 2D aspect of this app. So let us begin. First up, I will import the reference. I import it using the stickers. I will then convert it into a 3-dimensional sticker. And this makes it so that it does not stick to the canvas, and I can actually move it around even outside of the canvas, and when it is inside the canvas, resizing it together with the canvas is possible, as you will see. It's not pasted on the canvas, but on top of it has its own kind of layer, I suppose. Next up is the history button, which is where you will find your speed paints. If you exported the video, you will get your speed paints. You can also jump back and forth in time to rectify some mistakes. There is a limit though, so keep that in mind. Next up is, of course, the canvas. That is, concerning the canvas, I usually use half of the 1K resolution, though I do start at 1K resolution. The reason for lowering the resolution to half of 1K is that the brushes tend to lag a lot. Some brushes also lose the texture, so it's one of the reasons why I lower the opacity. It's also a preferred, just personal preferences. It's a lot of fun for me working in much lower resolutions. Now, provided everything is set and that, let us pretend that we already have a sketch. We don't have layers, so we have to adapt. I use the marker. Usually I crank up, the size of the marker, and I lower the opacity, and I paint using the background color on top of the sketch. The same can be done with the fill bucket tool. I will just lower the opacity and crank up the tolerance. Sometimes I actually use even the watercolor brush, just using the background color and painting on top of the sketch. Now let's have a bit of fun. I will draw, of course, showcasing how I do things in Paint 3D. We also know that there are no, of course, fancy tools like Liquify, so we have to adapt, which is why I use the selection tool a lot for adjusting proportions or moving things around. Sometimes I even convert it, I select a selective part and convert it into a 2-dimensional sticker, lowering the opacity and moving it around with ease. It's a personal preferred way. Well, not necessarily, but it's more of how I do things since there is no Liquify. Now, let's have a bit of fun without any kind of distractions. I wanted to showcase the versatility of this app and how powerful it can be. It's mostly suitable for, I suppose, doodling, but that's what I wanted to do, or that's what I enjoyed the most, just sketching without any kind of professional, I will say, or without any kind of cluttered or heavy restrictions, because there are apps which have a lot of, I suppose, things that make it difficult personally for me to actually draw. They become so complicated with such sophisticated designs. I always prefer simplicity over, high-end complexity. Anyways, my rendering style, I prefer using just soft watercolor, soft edge watercolor. I suppose you could also use the marker as a sketching brush, but personal preferences. You can also apply, for sure, cell shading, seeing that there is a fill bucket tool. You can pair it together with maybe even the calligraphy and the pixel brush. Once more with the marker, you could achieve remarkable results. I did not bother to draw the feet or the background. I just went in there with capturing the feeling of the pose, and I had a lot of fun. What else? Of course, I will be using this app a lot for my upcoming videos, so I wanted to showcase my process. Yeah, I have a lot of plans. I will use it a lot. I will also use it for drawing backgrounds and characters in background, characters interacting, and a lot of stuff. So keep your eyes peeled. Once more, this is Ultimate K, and I experiment in art. Thus far shall I cast my words for now. I'll see you in the next video. Stay equalized.